Hey folks, welcome back to the TSS YouTube stream. Today I'm going to be playing a very fun deck, Dialga. The deck list is in the description. I've confirmed this time, so if you want to see the list, just go into the description. And with that being said, I'm just going to hop right into some games. So this is pretty much almost the same. I think like a few cards different than Andrew Hedrick's list that he used to win. I believe it was Indy a few months ago. We just have the addition of Fezandipiti EX now, which is honestly just insanely good with Star Chronos, letting you basically like draw 6 on your Star Chronos turn. You know, draw 3, Star Chronos, draw 3 again. Because your opponent doesn't take another turn in between, it still counts as a Pokemon having been knocked out during your opponent's last turn, so you're able to use it again on your second Star Chronos turn as well. And then of course, like Cruel Arrow, also adding a cool option to the deck where you can use like Star Chronos, take a big knockout, and then you can even just like, sometimes it's optimal to just use Cruel Arrow to take a knockout on, you know, if you're playing against like Gardevoir, you can knock out like Double Curlia, whatever it may be. A lot of cool uses for Fezandipiti in this deck. We'll just open Dialga here. Most stuff can't easily knock out Dialga too quick. I mean, Bolt and stuff obviously can, but the aggro decks. But I think we'd rather keep our Beldum safe here. Looks like we're playing against Dragapult. This is a pretty strong matchup. Phantom Dive can obviously cause us some issues, but we do have the 70 HP Beldums in here, so they won't be picked off too easily. And of course, they can't one-shot Dialga, so it can, well, they can with like Dusknoir, but generally speaking, it's tough for them to one-shot it, so easier for us to keep our energy on board and build up to that Star Chronos turn. So yeah, excellent start. I'm just going to get another Beldum, and then I'll attach, just in case I miss. And research, and then we already got 2 metal in the discard pile for metal coating. I think I do want another Dialga down here, just in case, but maybe I'll concealed cards first, and then I can just Ultra Ball for it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. Although, if I just grab the Dialga now, I can save the Ultra Ball for Metang. No, I think I'm just going to conceal cards. Just too good. Okay, we'll go boom here, and I think I'd rather keep the Iono here, just because I don't really want to play Research next turn. I don't know, is it silly for me to be that scared of a Dusclops knockout? I don't think so. I think it's reasonable for me to worry about that. Rare Candy, Pidgeot, Rare Candy, Dragapult, Dusclops. It's not likely, but better safe than sorry. I think this puts it in a pretty good spot. Arven. So yeah, I mean, like, worst case scenario here, I mean, if they get like Hawlucha or something, if not go to Beldum. I mean, they can use Dusclops to knock out a Beldum, but if they have Dusclops, they'll probably just knock out the active. If they even can get the Phantom Dive off this turn. A little bit harder for Dragapult to get turn 2 attack than it is for something like Charizard, of course. Rescue brought onto the Pidgey, so interesting. Probably not seeing Rare Candy Pidgey out here. Which does mean they probably have attack, right? They probably, if they're not opting for the Pidgeot, probably means they couldn't get the Pidgeot and the Dragapult. I kind of doubt it, though. I guess, yeah, if they one less piece, 1 piece short of getting both. I mean, this is excellent for us. We might even build a one-shot to Dragapult. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for coming. Ready to see some Star Chronos action? I mean, it might even be worth just a Star Chronos here, and just to knock out the Dragapult. But I think we'll start with the Iono, so you can find, you know, maybe a couple more energy, a Super Rod to get them back in after that. Yeah, let's get concealed. Okay, so we we got an attachment for turn still, even though we used it concealed. Now let's see. So right now we're doing 160, 200, 240, 280. Okay, we'll see how many energy we can have from Metal Maker. Okay, we'll definitely take the one. On the active, now we're doing 200, 240 with the attachment. So 2 energy off Metal Maker I think should be the knockout. 200, 240, 280, 320. Right? Yeah. So I don't even need a Star Chronos. We'll just do this. And I'll just Metal Blast. I was thinking, like, do we want another attacker in case they... I don't think they're going to hit double Dialga knockout. And even if they do, like, worst case scenario, if they do hit, like, the rare double Dialga knockout here, then I can still just set up a Zamazenta or something next turn by retreating into it out of the One Retreat Greninja. Another Duskull comes down. Turn 2 Metal Blast for 320. I do think this deck is very underrated. I mean, how many decks can that easily just one-shot a Dragon Bolt turn 2? I guess Raging Bolt and Moon. But those decks don't have Star Chronos, so. I love Star Chronos. This deck is just so much fun to play. Obviously it's relatively straightforward, but it's still just like loads and loads of fun to play. Obviously, love to find Prime Catcher next turn would be the best possible find. I feel like a search card since I put that Prime Catcher to the bottom. I don't think I have, so I probably want to shuffle a deck. Because I just used Iono and the Metal Maker, so I'm gonna be getting close. It's what, like 3, 7, 11 cards that I put to the bottom. So Prime Catcher being the 3 cards, or no, 8 cards to the bottom. The Prime Catcher was in the 3 cards that got Iono to the bottom. So still a solid amount of cards above that Prime Catcher in my deck. 19, I can put another 8 to the bottom with Metal Makers, so that'd be 27. Okay. We did get a shuffle option, but I mean, we already have the Ultra Ball, and that's probably what I'm going to go for here. Let's go Ultra Ball, just get rid of these. Get Mew. And then I'm going to Concealed. Okay, we'll attach active, Mew, and just restart for 1. Okay, well, nothing too crazy that we can do this turn, but we'll just try to find a metal off of Metal Maker. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh, we only have 2 energy and X, so we might just miss here. That's unfortunate. I shouldn't have. I need to attach the draw card with restart. I was gonna say maybe I should have attacked until after I used the Metal Makers, but I need to restart first. And I wanted to restart first because I could draw like Rod, like draw any number of things that increase my chance of hitting on Metal Maker. I mean, we still just need 1 turn to win this game, right? Obviously, it would be a little bit harder to set up a second Dialga if they kill this one, which they probably will. They'll probably go for like a Dusknoir play here, knock this out, or just like a Dusclops and then Phantom Dive to finish it off. Unfortunately, we didn't have a ton of energy left in deck going into that turn, and then we just draw through 3, so we only had a couple left. Oh, they're going to Curse Blast the Dialga. Okay, well, at least that gives us a surprise. Makes it a lot easier for us to win the game here. We can even just like Star Chronos one of these guys and then Cruel Arrow if we don't find boss. Although we haven't used 1 boss, still got more in Prime Catcher. We're only gonna have 1 Metal Maker this next turn though, which is pretty bad. to say the least. Although who knows, maybe they don't have Dragon Ball Psychic. They did already use their quick search. They don't have access to flip the script because I missed knockout. There's the Arvenom, so I have to imagine they have it. I don't think they use Recon. No, they do use Recon. Stretcher, Devo, so Stretcher, get the One Piece. Okay, just something mildly annoying. I think maybe I should have just. I think attaching this was correct. I was gonna say maybe I should have attached to this, but I do think this was right, and I just needed to find metal off Metal Maker. Okay, looks like we're gonna knock out double Metang, which obviously is not ideal, but we just need to take 2 prize cards now, so realistically we get out a couple more Beldums, bench the Zamazenta, and try to set up Sam for game. Bolt. Here it comes. Psychic Energy. Okay, so they haven't used Quick Search yet. Oh, the down arrows from Jamming Tower shutting off the rescue board. Okay, so he's going to pile it all on there. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to get down to 2 prize cards. So we're going to have to send up something as a sacrifice here. Quick Search for boss is probably going to be game, but we'll see what we can do. Nest Ball for Fez for sure. They use boss yet? No. So that's not good. We want to boss Rotom, realistically, to try to make them miss attack. I do need more Beldums, but I need boss more, so I'm gonna conceal first and hope to draw maybe like Poffin and boss off these 5 cards. Okay, so there's the Poffin. Flip the script, find me boss. No boss. Okay, here's the thing. I think that a Bagel, to answer the question in chat, on the poll was, for anyone who doesn't know, what's more insane, a Bagel with nothing on it, a waffle with no syrup, or a Pop-Tart with no frosting. And after this turn, I'll go in depth on on why I chose the way I did. It's very important, of course. I take this stuff very seriously. So just pull on Twitter. Those are the options. Which one was crazier? Now, a plain bagel, nothing on it, absolutely nothing, no butter, no nothing. That's obviously insane, for sure. No doubt about it. Waffle with no syrup, that's normal. Actually, my optimal waffle does not have any syrup on it. I like whipped cream, strawberries. That one didn't say like nothing on it, just said no syrup. The bagel one specified absolutely nothing. So I was like, okay, well, just because there's no syrup doesn't mean I can't put other stuff on it. So that one was like completely out of the question, just based on the phrasing. But Pop-Tart, unfrosted. Now, I don't know if we have. I know I read in the comments after voting that in the States there are naked Pop-Tarts that don't have frosting on them and have like more filling in the center. But I'm in Canada. We might have them. I have never seen Pop-Tarts with no frosting. So that, to me, in my mind, I was like, well, what are you doing? Are you taking the frosting off the Pop-Tart? That's insane. So I voted the Pop-Tart without frosting. Now, in hindsight, with the knowledge I have now about the Pop-Tart economy, you know, I might change my answer to bagel, but like at the time, I did not know that was a thing. I've never seen a Pop-Tart with no frosting, so I was like, nah, there's no way. That's crazy. You wouldn't want frosting on a breakfast Pop-Tart anyways. Has eggs and sausage in it. What? all I know, yeah, I don't know what kind of Pop-Tarts you guys are eating in America, but to me, a Pop-Tart only comes one way. It comes as a little square to be toasted that has frosting on it. Does bagel with frosting mean you can't toast it because toasted bagel clears here? I feel like I wouldn't eat a toasted bagel with nothing on it. Still, I still think that's wild. Like, no, like not even butter. Like, if that's what you're about, I mean, like maybe you have like it's like a cheese bagel or something. But still, for me, that would be like a no-go. I would just not eat that. Whereas like, yeah, no, I wouldn't. I don't think there's any world in which I'm like eating a bagel with, unless I'm like I have to, you know, to survive. This war started because TSS Josh eats his bagels like that. What? Oh my gosh. Oh my god, Josh. I'll have to have a talk with him. That is criminal. I agree. Throat butter sucks, but I just don't think naked Pop-Tart sounds appetizing. Well, yeah, I agree. That's why I voted for the naked Pop-Tart. But in hindsight, no. Now that I know that there are Pop-Tarts that are made to be naked and they put like extra filling on the inside, I can get behind it a little bit more. I think it's like a little bit more realistic. And apparently you're supposed to put your own stuff on them. I've never put anything on a Pop-Tart. I've always just eaten it as how it came. That's what I kind of thought that's what everyone was doing. But now I know. I'm educated more, you know. I'm not going to make the same uneducated takes as I was before. Now I know all about the nuance of the naked Pop-Tart. So y'all just aren't looking hard enough for the naked Pop-Tart. Until someone proves otherwise, I'm just going to assume we don't have those in Canada. I need to see evidence, because I have never seen that before in my life. So this is a very good spot. I mean, this matchup is just kind of free. This is just like nothing my opponent can really do, to be honest. Yeah, they're just going to scoop. Yeah, they're just, I mean, Thorns is never beating Dialga as long as they set up, you know, like you flood a bunch of energy in the board, one-shot all their stuff. You don't even need to use Star Chronos. There are cathedrals everywhere for those with eyes to see, in reference to the naked Pop-Tart. I don't know. I've not seen any of the naked Pop-Tart cathedrals. I mean, I would attend a service, you know, just to try it out if there was one in the area. But I have not seen any gatherings for that congregation locally. Have you posted the 60 yet? I just logged on. It should be in the description. It's pretty similar to the Andrew Hedrick 60. I think there's like one more Poffin, and then the Fezandipiti over Gears. And Gears could still be like worth over the other, like the third Poffin. 2 might be enough, but I don't like having only having the limited Poffin outs against like Drago, all these other decks that run you over. I mean, like obviously in a hand like this, Pokegear would be good, but none of these cards would be. All of these cards would be in the list no matter what, whether I play Pokegears or not. So I mean, like the Zam is maybe cuttable, but not in this metagame. Zam is like the key to your Ancient Box matchup. I did nothing. So we got Arc Drago here. Definitely would rather play against this than regular Drago. We'll just go here. I'm not going to bench the Zam. Just kind of hogs the bench space unnecessarily, I think, right now. Nest Ball, just get one of those Beldums out. Do I like... No, is it greedy? I don't think it is greedy to go for the Greninja. Because like I was going to say, like I'll go for the Beldum just to like ensure, but this gives me an energy in the discard pile for metal coating, so like it kind of balances out either way, and then we get rewarded. Just Beldum. I kind of just want to board wipe them next turn. I'm just going to go for the double. They're not going to be able to one-shot my Dialga next turn anyways as an Arc build, so I'm just going to go for the turn 2 Star Chronos here with the triple Beldums. And then like Mew EX is actually, you know, I could Trinity Nova with this thing. Not a terrible attacker. Certainly, you know, not going to be using Apex Dragon anytime soon. Maybe that's what I need. I need to play like my own Giratina V-Star so that I can discard it and then Apex Dragon with Mew EX against Regidrago. Kyurem even. Kyurem against Drago doesn't really do much because the Ogres can't take bench damage anyways, so probably never gonna be a good option there. But I mean, I guess you could power up Kyurem with just if you played a couple waters, because the other energy is metal. So like maybe there's a world where Kyurem's not that bad in this. I got my invite with Dialga. It's very close to heart. Yeah, I think Dialga is pretty underrated. It's obviously, you know, like not the best position deck in the world. I probably wouldn't necessarily suggest that it's like some. I'm not gonna say it's like some crazy meta call for Baltimore or that I would suggest it. But if you really like the deck and you know it inside and out, I don't think it's a bad play at all. Same as I put it in the same spot as like Raging Bolt even for this event, because like Raging Bolt similarly is not in a very good spot. But I mean, there's some decks that Raging Bolt really struggles with at the top tables that Dialga has better matchups into, not necessarily free matchups by any means, but like it does better than Raging Bolt into like Zard and Ancient Box for sure. Okay, Metang. We'll just attach. I kind of want to conceal first just in case I miss the energy off the Iono. Nice. So I do the Ultra Ball and grab another Tang. Squawk makes it fun. In Dialga? Oh, I haven't tried that. I've been playing Mew and Fezandipiti EX. I haven't felt like I super had the space for something like a Squawk, but that could be cool. Just to have the stronger early games. Let's go to Iono now. Maybe I should have middled first there. I mean, I kind of got rewarded for not middle making first, so that's okay. I don't really want. I kind of just want to thin. I shouldn't have thinned here because I put the. I didn't put any energy at the bottom of the Iono, so I actually was thinning more by not doing that. We'll go. Okay, so we got the Star Chronos or just the knockout, which is probably what we're gonna do here. Because we just kind of win in this spot. I'm not gonna use. I'll use one Metal Maker here. Just look at the top 4. 3 Super Rod and Ultra Ball to the bottom. Okay, I'm just gonna use the other one just to get more information because my deck is random anyways. Research Boss Iono to the bottom. Not great. Not really what I wanted to do. Actually, I need one more energy anyways. So. Wherever I go, you follow me. Can I enjoy my Cyrus Masterclass in peace? The Dialga Masterclass. I wouldn't necessarily call myself the master of Dialga, but I think I can play it about as well as anyone else. I think I don't think I'll make many mistakes here. I think I did make one mistake. Oh, I thinned before using Metal Maker. I tried to thin out Dialga V-Star, but I put 3 cards with Iono to the bottom that were not Metal Energy anyway, so it's optimal to use the Metal Makers before using that Ultra Ball there. That was my one mistake so far. So keep that in mind. Thinning isn't always better if you know the bottom cards of your deck aren't energy anyways. Yeah, Scoop. I mean, Arc Drago, not a super real deck, so should be beating that pretty cleanly with most things. Wild to be playing Arc with Drago over the Ogre Pawns, but maybe they didn't have Ogre Pawns. Or they just love Arc, you know. There's still lots of Arc fans out there. Arc believers, Arc dreamers even. More so than believers. I don't think they even believe in it anymore. How do we feel about Bird Control? I still love Bird Control. I think it's tier 1, but I would play the Zard Control build similar to what I played at Worlds. I'm actually working on a Zard Control guide right now. That is gonna, but I'm trying to have it done before Baltimore, but I'm like 3,000 words in, and honestly, I do not feel like I am almost done. So I might not even be halfway. I think like probably gonna get to 6,000 to 8,000 words in that article. So hopefully I can finish it before Baltimore. I'm gonna try to work on it a bunch over the weekend. So maybe might be seeing a Zard Control article from me very, very soon. I think it is very great, very good play. My list, as far as like list wise, you know, if you're like waiting for the article to come out, my list is still gonna be pretty similar to what I have been playing. If you've seen like my lists on Twitter, so it's more just like a guide on advice to play the deck. This is not good. We'll do this. I want the Dialga. I can still restart. Let's do I want to Ultra Ball these two away for a Beldum and then restart for 2 and hope to draw another energy to attach for turn? I mean, I guess I don't necessarily need another energy to attach for turn. I'm going to do this. Guarantee the Beldums, get rid of the Metang in hand, and then just restart. And I'll probably find another attachment anyways. Yeah, and then research for next turn. Very nice. I just really felt like I needed to use restart there. So my hand was like pretty dead, right? My opponent playing Rotom deck, almost definitely not going to take a knockout next turn, so I'm not going to be using Fezandipiti next turn. I can rot it back in later. Looks like we got a Zard player. Okay, so Lumen going to come down for the Arven. Lumen coming down for us is really good. Just like a really easy way to clean up the game. What we like to do from here is just like Metal Blast, knock out this Rotom, and then just Star Chronos the Lumen, one shot, a Zard or a Pidgeot. They don't really want to take a one prizer, so it's very nice that they open the Rotom here. Hopefully we can get a knockout this turn. I'm going to use the restart before research just because I don't expect to be able to draw too much more after. I'd be able to get my hand back below 3 after the research, basically. Okay, we got a Rod, so that's good. We'll just go Beldum. I'm going to... Do I have... How many metal? I have 5 metal in discard, so I'll try to draw another Rod here. Nice. In this matchup, I feel like I do want to get another Dialga down. So I'm just going to go Nest Ball, get the other Dialga. We're only going to get one Metal Maker here, so we're definitely not getting... We don't have the VSTAR, so we're definitely not getting a knockout, but we can get those energy on our board. I think we'll just do the Metal for now. I feel like I don't necessarily need Fez here. And I don't really want to put the Dialga in harm's way just yet. I think I'm just going to try to sacrifice the Greninja. They're not knocking this out. It's pretty safe to attach both to it. The volume is kind of low, like my audio. I can move my mic closer if that's better. Let's bring up the Greninja and just pass. Is that better volume-wise? Moved my mic pretty significantly closer to me. Okay, so they got the Pidgeot out. Very large hands, but they'll probably get the Zard out here too. Although I don't know, I mean, they have Candy, Zard, and Boss. That'd be pretty annoying. You can knock out the Mew, set the prize race on us. Certainly not an ideal opener in this matchup. But they've already used their Lumen, so I mean they don't avoid a Lumen search for boss. Hopefully they need to quick search for one of the rare candy Zard pieces, and then they don't just already have boss in hand. But Arvin can't really find them anything. The Entei comes down, could be a little annoying. We can't Star Chronos that for a knockout. Can you show the list? It's in the description. It should be at least. Hero's Cape on the Pidgeot would definitely be annoying. They're going to put it on the Entei though, which doesn't matter as much. Okay, it looks like they're probably not going to attack this turn. Yeah, just an instant charge. So we could get Star Chronos, knock this out, and then boss on the Pidgeot here. Well, with all my metal in deck, I think I'll just Metal Maker first. Nice. So put one on the active for the retreat, one on the bench for Star Chronos, and then just research. Okay. Dialga. Metang. I don't really want to draw more metal off of concealed, so I'm just going to Metal Maker first, try to thin. Whew. Oh my goodness. Right now we're doing... I can just attach manually to get this up to 280 if I hit boss for Pidgeot, so we'll just put all three on the bench Dialga. Ooh, baby. Now we're cooking. Technically speaking, there's no reason for me to evolve this before using Star Chronos, because I can just evolve it on the Star Chronos turn, but there's... I know I'm going to evolve that into that, so I'm just going to do it now. Star Chronos, take the knockout. Hopefully we can find a boss here. Or a Prime Catcher. Super Rod Beldum. We're down one boss, that's it. They'll probably bring up Charmander. Pidgeot. Okay, I mean, we don't need the boss now, I guess. We'll just, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we only have one metal in deck, so no point in using Metal Maker, really. Concealed. What I want to do here. I want to find... I would love to... I guess I don't even need to Iono. They kind of... By bringing up the Pidgeot, I just really don't need to do anything here, to be honest. They just kind of gave it to me. Gave me the win. So I'll just... Maybe they just forgot that I was going to take another turn after this. I don't know. A little Super Odd. Yeah, let's do these three. Make sure that we can keep streaming attackers together. Then I'm not even going to... Is the hype around Tina being dead inflated, or do you think it can make a comeback? I definitely think it can make a comeback in this meta. I think it's really good right now. It beats a lot of the aggro decks. It honestly is not as bad into Drago as people say it is. I actually think it's pretty close. Maybe even like 50-50. Yeah, I think Tina's really good right now. I think people just don't necessarily know how to play Tina super well, and they believe the propaganda that Tina is bad or inconsistent, when really it's just like you just have to sequence it properly. Obviously it's less consistent than... I don't even know if I would say it's less consistent than a regular Lost Box build, because you have Abyss Seeking, which regular Lost Box doesn't have, and it adds a lot of consistency to the deck. But yeah, I mean, the best thing about it is that you don't have to play Chorus to set up against Drago, so you don't get swept by Kyurem or anything. I mean, if they Kyurem, you just go like a couple of Flyer Settings, Abyss Seeking, get up to 4, then you're in range of getting to Mirage Gate pretty easily next turn, as long as you find Chorus Experiment. So whether you already had one, or you found one off Abyss Seeking, or you find one on your Flyer Settings next turn, usually by turn 2 be able to find a Chorus if you don't find one turn 1. And then after that, if they choose to use Kyurem to knock out 3 Comfy after you've used Abyss Seeking, then you just evolve into Giratina, use Chorus, get another Flower Selecting off, with a couple of switches. I mean, you can even Roxanne them if they choose to do that. And you don't have to bench 3 Comfy either, right? You can just bench 2 and then they knock 2 out and put 110 on a Tina, but I mean, that's not that big of a deal. Because because they lose all their energy. So then you just Roxanne or Unfair Stamp them to low hand size, and everything's usually fine. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've got a good amount of metals here. Boss. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And how much am I doing right now? I'm just going to retreat to this and check. 240. I do have a rod. 5, 12. Doing 280 now. I think I'm probably still just going to do it. We'll just Iono them to 4. All they're going to be able to do really is attack again. We just need to find boss, knock out on something. There's the rod. So let's use the rod. Shuffle metal, Fezandipiti back in. Because we're going to do 280 of this, and then we can clean it up with a Fez. If they Turo, that could be a little bit annoying. Let's do Zam, maybe. 5, 11, so we still 4 in deck. 4 just does not feel like a lot, though. I think this is going to be the best way to set up their attacker here. Restart. Trading 280. We'll Poffin and fail it. Yeah, we have boss for, yeah, we have lots of ways to win next turn, so we'll just Nest Ball, get the Zam down, Metal Blast for 280, and see what they do. Here's out of control today. Okay, so they're going to grab the Dusclops. I mean, nothing's going to allow them to take a 4-prize turn here, I don't think. They don't have Pidgeot, so they don't have a lot of options. They need Turo and Charizard to... Okay, no Turo, so we just need boss. Do you want to play more controls, Charizard control? I still think Charizard control is great right now. I just, you know, don't want to stream the same thing every week. But I love Charizard control. I would definitely play more of it for like actual events. Not my top pick for Baltimore if I were going, which I'm not, but still a good pick. Okay, so I don't need boss. I'm just going to Ultra Ball to Thin. Four metal in deck. 9 cards in deck. I get a C8. That means I am guaranteed to get the knockout here. Put this here. Metal Maker again. 1, 2. Boom. Boom. Retreat. And retaliate for the knockout against the Zard Noir. Bonk. Yeah, I don't know why they brought up Pidgeot. That was just like a huge misstep from then after the Star Chronos. Maybe they just forgot that I was using Star Chronos there. And just needed to attach one more time to knock out their Pidgeot. Whoa, up to Mirror Tier. With Dialga VSTAR. My favorite Dialga. I don't know if there's any other Dialgas in format. Not my favorite VSTAR. It's actually my favorite Dialga. I can't think of a better Dialga card off the top of my head. Oh, well, Dialga G. Way back when. You know, 2010-ish. That deck is pretty fun to play. Dialga G, an item lock attacker. And then the Dialga level X. Thank you, thank you. My hair is often pretty out of control. Do you want to go first? Yes. Charizard control is good for Stellar Crown format? I think so. I think you just need to adapt. I think the list probably won't look the same for Stellar Crown format, right? Like, you'll probably want to adapt to, you know, Palkia and Terapagos being better. But I think that your matchups against those decks are probably relatively fine. It's a little tough to, like, play control in a less refined meta because you don't necessarily know what all of your opponent's deck lists are going to look like, so it makes it a little harder to counter them, right? But I think the deck will still be good for sure. You just have to be creative with your deck building, right? That's always going to be the key to control in general. Let's get Beldum. Let's get Dialga. I want to get my attachment for turn. And then we'll just hold the rest because I don't want to Ultra Ball these two-way, obviously, for a Mew. Just to draw 3 cards. I'd much rather take the guaranteed draw card plus Metang next turn. And if I want Ultra Ball from you, I could always do it next turn with discarding a better top deck. Or like a worse top deck, I guess. A better to discard top deck than Metang. Metang Mirror, because this is gonna be the Reverum EX. Let me just double check that I know what this does. Reverum EX. I know what the Lightning one does for sure. Okay, the Lightning one still uses Metal Energy, so this could be the same thing. But the Metal one can have up to 4 tools attached to it, does 170 for 3 energy, and reduce damage done to it by 30. So if that's what this is, I think this is a fabulous matchup for me. If it is the Lightning one, I think it's probably still a fabulous one for me, because both of those rely on the opponents sort of not being able to one-shot you easily, and then like just being bulky and healing. And of course, Dialga, with its ridiculously high damage cap, can get through that pretty consistently. It's Reverum, more like stink up the room, am I right? Totally, 100%, 100% correct. They could even play both Reverum, but it looks like the metal one is the one they're getting out here. I think I'll just take my guaranteed attach for turn. I kind of want to draw an energy for concealed cards off the Iono, so I will not Metal Maker first. And I'm down 1 metal in discard, so if I probably worth the concealed cards here, and then Super Odd. We'll I don't really need any more energy to knock out, so I don't really want to use the Super Odd right now. I just need to hit 1 metal off this Metal Maker to retreat, and then I can Super Odd 3 energy back in instead of 2. I just kind of want to save it, right? Pokemon, do I have to discard Zam? I don't want to shuffle Zam back in either. Yeah, we'll Metal Maker first. Good. We're putting, 3 cards we don't really need to the bottom. I'm going to Nest Ball anyways here, though. And now I can go, boom. I won't Super Odd this turn, just because there's no point. I don't want to top deck more Metal Energy. But I will. Neither Reverum can one-shot us, so. I mean, I guess the other one with a Defiance Band could. But I'm not too worried about the odds of that happening. We'll just initiate the prize trade here. Get a little Metal Blast. Against the Reverum. A friend of mine actually hit Reverum at NAIC, and they were playing Iron Thorns, so not a good matchup for Iron Thorns. Reverum doesn't beat a lot of decks, I don't think, but it certainly beats Iron Thorns EX. Although it doesn't get to have the tool ability, but still gonna run through Iron Thorns pretty consistently. How much does your Charizard control coaching cost? So my coaching is 30. What did I change it to? I recently changed the rates. Let me check. 30 something USD an hour. Typically, yeah, 30 USD an hour. There are other options on there. I'll drop my Metafy link in the chat if you want to check it out, investigate. If you have any other questions about my coaching too. You can always send me a DM on any platform. I'm always happy to answer questions. What's the worst cope? Reverumi X believers or Arc Pile believers? Definitely Reverumi X believers. I honestly am not. I don't think there are too many of them, but anyone who definitely is actually coping on Reverumi X probably needs a stern talking to. We'll go Super Rod, Metal, and then let's use our Metal Makers. I don't want to draw more. The handheld fan, not going to do a whole lot against Dialga. Now we're doing 170 because of the damage reduction. Let's use the other Metal Maker. Okay, none off that one. Attach. So 210. I might just, I don't know, maybe with the Star Chronos. Metang. Let's get another Dialga out. I will conceal cards first here, just because if I draw a Super Rod, I can greatly increase the chance of this last Metal Maker. Do not, but we'll Metal Maker again. 1, 2. So right now we're doing 210. Let's put us up to 290, right? Yeah. Beautiful. Attach. Knockout. This is why I was thinking the matchup's pretty easy. Thoughts on people trying to bring back Kira in VMAX's format? Do not hurt my feelings. It's good. I'm just kidding. I think Kira is still not great. Night Academy obviously adds something to it, but I think that it still is not great matchups. I don't think it necessarily beats. I mean, it just gives out 3 prizes, and you know, VMAXs have been a little bit phased out because of that. Sorry. Sorry, just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I think you don't necessarily beat Zard. Just because the 3 prizes, it's pretty easy for them to go like 1, 2, 3, because they can one-shot you in the late game and sort of like prize map you out. You don't beat. I don't think you necessarily beat Ancient, although you're like, probably not too bad against Ancient. I never see a deck list for sure, but it's like, I think even if the deck was consistent, your matchups aren't insanely good. It would definitely, if it was more consistent, it would be like okay, but I think it's just still just too fringe with not a good enough matchup spread. But definitely, I think it's like, I mean, much better with Night Academy for sure. Or it's called Academy at Night, right? Not Night Academy. Important distinction. Nice, we beat the Revel Room. Can't believe it. We are 4-1 with the Dialga. Although, we're already doing worse than I was doing with Zard Control last time, because we went 7-0 with Zard Control. But we're getting a lot more games in faster, so maybe able to win more games overall, just because of how much faster Dialga is. You know what Kyurem doesn't beat? Dialga, unfortunately. Let's queue up some Kyurem versus Dialga games. Star Chronos for 3 prizes. Metal Blast for another 3 prizes. I guess, like, I don't know, with Palkia being better Stellar Crown, you have a bigger bench. Maybe, like, you can bench, you haven't, like, have enough room for more support Pokemon that makes Kyurem better. You play Blissey and Glass Trumpet. Get more energy onto the Kyurem. I don't know. Spitballing here. It screamed like Courage the Cowardly Dog if you did that. The 6 prize Star Chronos turn with no damage on my opponent's board going in advance. Would certainly be an all-time matchup. One for the books. Bring back Kyurem so that I can do that to someone on stream. Dialga. Remember, I was going to Poffin for 2 more Beldums. don't think I want to use the Ultra Ball yet, but I'll just save it to grab a Metang next turn. Do this, attach there instead of the active to retreat, because they might knock us out, and we don't even need the energy to retreat. I'm going to assume this is like Ancient, which is like a one of Slitherwing to help against Iron Hands decks. Not that I think that Ancient should play one of Slitherwing, but could also just be Raging Bolt and playing this instead of like Sandy Shocks. This is definitely much worse than Sandy Shocks, but like part of the nice thing about Sandy Shocks and Raging Bolt, which it looks like is what we're playing as, Raging Bolt, is that if you miss Sada turn 1 going second, you can still like get a prize, right? But you know, Slitherwing does not do that, so it's just a much worse option. You know, because you can go like Tail Dance, Sandy Shocks, you don't even necessarily need to hit a Sada to power it up. So the 1 energy cost is just much better. And then like if I was gonna play something that couldn't be set up in 1 turn anyways, I just play Flutter Mane because it helps against like Iron Thorns. And I mean, I suppose if you hit a Lost Box deck, you just Flutter Mane against that too. I'd say it's much better than Sandy Shocks as a Mimikyu counter as well, since it can retreat under Snorlax, which is the primary Mimikyu deck still. I guess Gardevoir. Sandy Shocks definitely better against Gardevoir, but it's already a pretty bad matchup. But I do think Sandy Shocks has a lot of value. I probably would still play Sandy Shocks over Flutter Mane, even though Flutter Mane's a better Mimikyu counter. Slitherwing though, definitely worse than both. Although has its pros. Everything has its pros and cons, right? Well, not everything. Certainly wouldn't suggest you put like a Great Tusk in that spot. That doesn't have as many pros. They're gonna stomp us off. Wonder what they'll hit if they stomp off here. Squawk. No Sada yet. Here. So presumably still no Sada. And fail it, so presumably still no Sada again. Maybe we'll see a different supporter, Judge or an Iono here, if they were digging for Sada and already had a different one. This matchup can be pretty scary, right? Like they could just like turn 1 Sada, Pokemon Catcher heads at Dialga for knockout. But Zamazenta can help us stay in the game under those circumstances. I'm hoping we can get Star Chronos off next turn because this matchup's a little scary if we don't go really fast. More than a little scary, even. Zamazenta does help, though. Okay. So no knockout from the opponent. We just go Dialga. Attach. I think I'm actually going to Pokestop since I have the Super on hand. If I discard some metals, I can just shuffle them back in. Didn't get anything there, but I can Super Rod the Mew and Zamazenta back in, I suppose. That's not good. Folks, I don't know if you can tell. His hand is not good. I will go Dialga. Pass. So now I'm very scared. They didn't have Sada before. I just Iono'd them. So they'll probably find Sada now. And then Pokemon Catcher heads can knock my Dialga VSTAR. And our hand is really lacking. The Fezandipiti, very nice. Means if we do get knocked out, we can still draw some cards. But Star Chronos not one-shotting Raging Bolt is pretty problematic in situations like this. We have the boss, so maybe we can just find Star Chrono. Maybe they don't take a knockout, and then next turn, or they just knock out Beldum. I mean, I'd love that. If they knock out Beldum to activate, that activates Fezandipiti, brings my Dialga into the active spot. Maybe I find a couple of Metangs. Just need to hit 2 energy off Metangs to get this Dialga going. I can just like boss a Teal, Star Chronos it, then hopefully find another Gust and Metal Blast for another 2 prize cards. And at that point, I'm in like a very winning position because I can even Mew EX for my last 2 prize cards by copying Bellowing Thunder. Okay, so there's the Sada. They do have a Pokemon Catcher in hand, so we're at the mercy of God here, really. And by God, of course, I mean Pokemon Catcher. How do you do, fellow youth? Pretty good. Pretty good. I don't feel as youthful these days, but I'm still young. It's the upcoming parenthood. I'm starting to feel a little out of touch. All the seniors and juniors I coach making references I do not get at all. Making fun of me, call me old when I don't get the references. I'm only 22. 32 late for me. Washed up. I'm kind of glad yacht has been phased out of the junior senior vocab. I am too. Been replaced by skibbity, I fear. Yeah, it certainly has. Even though, like, you know, I have some friends that are like 18 to 20 and they're saying skibbity all the time, and I just can't get behind it. Can't get behind the skibbity, unfortunately. Even if it does, they try to make me call it pheasant. You know, I won't say it. I refuse. I won't cave yet. Pokestop. Super odd. This is pretty bad. I really wanted them to just knock out a Beldum. I mean, they should have just knocked out Dialga, to be honest. But they decided not to. So I'll probably just... I don't even want a metal coating. Let's attach here. And thin this out of the hand. I'm gonna bench this just in case I get like judged. No, I'll just pass. I know. I am waiting until I hit 30. By then, I'll have a little 8-year-old running around telling me I'm old all the on the reg. They won't let me forget it. I don't know, like, what they're doing, to be honest. They really should have just knocked out Dialga, and then just... But, I mean, they're still going to have the lead here because I didn't get attacked, so they're just, probably just going to... I don't know, they're burning Turbulence. It's pretty awkward for them, right? Like, they just get knocked out anyways, so... I think that's still probably the best play. Burning Turbulence, bring up Greninja. But... kind of defeats the purpose. Because then I even took the prize trade for me anyways. I can just... They'll go down to 2. I can Star Chronos the Greninja. Go down to 5. So they'll go down to 4. Sorry, not 2. They're going to 4. Star Chronos, I go down to 5. Boss, I go down to 3. Then they go down to 2. So, I mean, it does win it for them. Well, if they go down to 2, then I can potentially just take my last 2 prizes with Zamazenta if I don't bench either of these. But my hand certainly is not saying I can do that right now. Looks like I do have another Pokemon Catcher head, so it's going to be tough. Vacuum and Stamp. What a Raging Bull list. They're down all of their catchers already. Oh, well, presumably. They might play 4. But I'm assuming they don't play 4 if they're fitting cards like Vacuum and... Okay, so here comes the Bolt. I'm probably still going to try to just knock them out with this. And maybe Iono them if I can find an Iono. So I'm probably going to have to bench these. Unfortunately. But I would love to Iono. Come on. Let's see them. They have discard 4 energy. 1 off the active. Mostly of them off the bench. So I could clear all of their energy off the board and Iono them this turn. But I'm going to need to draw really well. So let's go Fez. I'm going to flip first to see if I can find like some Ultra Balls or something before I rod stuff back in. Nice. So Metang. Yeah. Mew. Super Rod. Metal. Ultra Ball, Greninja Metal, for Dialga, Super Rod, Metal. I don't want any other stuff back. Boss. I need this dead. I don't mind drawing Metal off restart here, so I'm going to use it before Metal Maker because I haven't attached yet for turn. But that is not good. So we can't start Chronos here. I really need to find like a supporter or something. I don't even know what realistically like how I can win this game. I think I'm just going to scoop. I don't think there's like any point in playing that out. If that were a best of 3, I would 100% be scooping there. I think like my only line, because I couldn't even, if I got 4 energy, I wouldn't even knock out the teal, right? So like I could hope that their hand was completely dead, but they had like 8 cards in hand. Realistically, I'm just wasting my time by praying there that I somehow managed to make a comeback. This is going to lose my Dialga, so I'm going to lose my Star Chronos option. Do you want to go first? Yes. Luckily, this is already an opt first deck, so if you hit Drago and you win the flip, you are going to be opting first into them. Whereas like something like Zard can be a little bit annoying for that, because like most matchups you probably want to up second, but you want to up first against Drago. So if you like hit Drago, you're almost always gonna go second game 1, assuming you're opting second blind. In which case it might be better to opt first blind, but then like, you know, there's so many matchups where you want to go second, and now you're forcing yourself to go first. Yeah, 3 TSS members about to have kids, and Andrew Mahone just had a kid too. Lots of Pokemon player births in this year, just in general. I want to say Mike Fouché had a kid this year too, but I'm not 100% on that one. Yeah, we were joking because we all announced the pregnancies around the same time too, because I think we all have around the same due date, right? So we all just happened to be announcing around the same time too, and we're like, yeah, I think, you know, we're joking that like we're contractually obligated, you know, to, you know, give birth to the next generation of TSS members. Yeah, we gotta, you know, part of our contract we signed, we gotta make sure that we have a full set of juniors TSS members by by like 2035. For the record, that's not true. Just in case. Don't clip that. For legal reasons. That is a joke. In actuality, we did sign a contract that says that, but it's we have an NDA about it, so I can't. I'm not supposed to tell you guys that we had to sign to have that we're gonna have kids. Also, a joke for legal reasons, you know, because of the NDA. Iono. Okay, that's where you draw off Iono. I can go. Let's just concealed first here. Okay, another Metang. So we should hit the Star Chronos here. Let's. Do I want to thin with Metal Maker? I think so. I know that I want another Dialga down. No other Dialga prize. Do I want to bench something else? Maybe I want to bench. Do I already have the boss in hand though, right? Yeah, so I don't need the Fez. I'll just bench the other Dialga. Metal Maker a couple times. No, we missed. Okay, that's fine. We'll just go Metal Maker, 1, 2. They could knock us out, right, with Dusclops. That's kind of annoying. I probably should have attached both energy to the bench Dialga. Just in case. But, I mean, the odds of them getting Dusclops Zard here is pretty low. I mean, unless they just prioritize that over getting Pidgeot out. But that's probably not the optimal play for them anyways. Nest Ball for Rotom means that we are probably safe. Turwing the Fez even. So next turn we'll just go for Boss Star Chronos on Rotom. I don't know if that's necessarily correct. Like, maybe I should be waiting until they have two prizes in play. But then I give them time to like collapse the Rotom as well. So this might be the only way for me to get like a 2-prize Star Chronos. Metal Maker. And then I can go after the Pidgey, maybe. Make them have less options. Use the other Metal Maker. Like, I'd love to use Star Chronos to take a 4-prize turn. But I think they can just play around that if I wait for them to evolve by just collapsing the Rotom away. So I'm just going to take the 2-prize turn now, and maybe I can boss the Pidgey. Okay, they're just going to scoop. So we are now 5-2. 5-2 with the Dialga. Not too bad, although one of those wins is against the Rever and one of them was against Archdrago. We lost a Pult Pidge and we lost a Raging Bolt. I think we got pretty unlucky in the Raging Bolt game, though. Our hand was pretty dead off of that one, Iono. Going second. I mean, it's not too bad to go second. I can get like a turn 1 metal coating. Especially with this hand. I can research away a bunch of metals. As long as I find Dialga and another metal. Pretty easy to metal coating here. For Henry typing, I update my. I keep track of all my results, as long as I don't think my opponent played terribly. So I'm just writing down my results. A mirror match Well, I think we're pretty favorable in this spot. Well, I was gonna research away the metals from metal coating, but with the Dialga VSTAR top deck, I feel like it's probably better not to. Now we're no longer favorable in this spot. Without finding any Beldums. Let's just do this. Them having the Blood Moon active is still means we're in a pretty good position. But do this. Attach here. With the research in hand, I'm probably gonna have to discard the rod anyways next turn, so I might as well just super out the Metang in now. Obviously not gonna shuffle back the metal because I can get it back with metal coating. Nice. We got one Beldum. That is all we really need to try to luck sack next turn. We just need to find 2 metal off of the Metang and then attach the Star Chronos. Then maybe find Prime Catcher off research. We can do some crazy stuff. It's a weird mirror. I don't think I've ever played this mirror, actually. But there's not a lot of Star Chronos targets. I mean, at least on their board currently. On my board, I have a Star Chronos. I'll put one that's in Star Chronos range. The Mew. As long as they don't evolve both of the Yogs, though. I can Star Chronos something. I mean, obviously I'm not going to Star Chronos the Blood Moon. I'll just knock that out with Metal Blast if I can get enough energy. Okay, so they didn't do too much. We'll just go Beldum, attach, let's restart before research. Like I said earlier, when I did this, just odds of me finding, getting my hand back below 3 cards after a research, just not very good. Get another Dialga out in case this one gets knocked out. And then I will just Metal Blast. That sets me up to start Chronos this for a knockout next turn, if it stays active. I can eventually take a 4 price turn and maybe set up this Dialga as well to have a easy way to take my last 2 price cards. Blood Moon's an interesting card in this deck. It might be worth it, actually. You can use it like a little bit earlier, right, with Metal Makers as well, so could be okay. There's quite a few spots where I think like Zamazenta probably serves a similar purpose, but I mean there's a lot of spots where you just like late game you just need an attacker to take your last gold prize card, so Blood Moon might be it. Although obviously terrible as a starter, as we can tell here. Even if you start it and then like manage to Prime Catcher to the active, probably still annoying if your opponent tries to boss that. Like Metang can, you know, 1 attachment, 1 Metal Maker hit, get out of the active, but Blood Moon, not so much. Losing 3 energy just to retreat is pretty bad. And if your opponent bosses Metang, usually you need to boss back around it again so that they get, when they actually get an attack off, to get a 2 prize attack. But if they boss Blood Moon and you don't manage to get out of the active, and then they knock it out on the next turn, because they successfully bought in time by bossing it up, then they get to take a 2 prize knockout, right? So obviously you're not going to start it that often, but you will start it from time to time. Metal Maker. So what are they going for here? They have put the 3 energy on Blood Moon, so presumably they're gonna retreat it. We have the Prime Catcher, so we'll punish that really hard. Like they should have just been putting. They're not gonna knock me out this turn, right? With what they have, so they should have just been putting the energy on the Dialgas, and then unless they're just gonna hit me for 240, which also seems like a very bad play. Okay, yeah, they should have just set up the Dialgas and let this Blood Moon go down for sure. Metang. Dialga. Just use our Metal Makers. We're just going to start Chronos. And then we can Prime Catcher the Dialga VSTAR for a Metal Blast knockout. So 4, 5, 6. That's what I need to one-shot the Dialga VSTAR. So I'll just put them all on now. Star Chronos, go down to 4, Prime Catcher, go down to 2, and then this other Dialga can clean up my last 2 prize cards. Or even the Mew EX, I mean, if it needs to be Mew EX, because they Star Chronos for like 4 prize cards. If they go like Star Chronos, Metal Blast, then I can just use Mew EX to copy their Metal Blast for a knockout, hopefully. Boss, so that means I can save the Prime Catcher, and I certainly will. We'll go Metal Maker. Nothing really to do here but use my Metal Makers and boss up the other Dialga. Boom. Metal Maker. I should definitely, obviously, be checking. I'm clicking through, but I definitely should have checked what I was putting to bomb with those Metal Makers. Let's boss this, but there's realistically no way for me to. I mean, I could lose here, right? Like, they need to go Star Chronos, knock this out, boss or Prime Catcher, knock this out, and realistically, they need to Iono me as well if they don't want me to get 2 knockout with this. But I mean, getting 6 energy on this is obviously going to be pretty tough, so I could still lose. For sure. They're just going to need a lot. And they're already down 9 energy. No super odds, though. 1 Iono. Palpad and Turo. Down 1 Dialga VSTAR. They might only play a 2-2. Some lists only play a 2-2 based on the fact that I've seen a lot of tech cards on their list. It's a little bit more likely that they only play 2-2 than if I didn't see as many tech cards. But I would still assume it's probably a 3-3. Ultra Ball will guarantee them the other one either way, as long as it's not prized, whether they play 2 or 3. Although I do feel like maybe they're just like taking in what's in their deck, yeah. I was gonna say surprisingly long time to make that decision if they're just grabbing Dialga VSTAR, but looks like they were just recounting what was in there. I don't like that when I use something like Metal Maker, PTG Live doesn't defaultly show me all of the cards. Like, it should put the metal to the front, but still show the other cards. I don't see any reason for that not to be the case. And then maybe like the toggle, you can toggle to not only show the options, but I think it should defaultly show all. Because otherwise I'm prone to just like clicking through too quick without checking. So no Star Chronos here, which means we realistically should be able to just win with our Dialga VSTAR this time. I'll bring up the Mew for the free retreat, but shouldn't be an issue. It is like, I don't know if you guys can hear it at all, but it is like just sort of like pouring rain. I do have a window open, so you might be able to hear it. Well, Ultra Ball, boom, boom. I definitely want the Metang. I'm going to get the Fez as well. We'll Ultra Ball for it to thin our hand down for Mew. Actually, I don't need Prime Catcher, so I'm just going to Ultra Ball it away. And fail, and then I'll Nest Ball for the Fez. So how many Metal are my discards? 7. So we'll go Metang. I'm just going to try to draw more Super Odds before I use this one and then my Metal Makers. So I'll restart. There's an energy. Okay, let's go flip the script. Another rod. So let's go attach for turn, super rod, metal, 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 super, yeah, there you go, scoop. Okay, I've only got at least one more game in me. Let's play at least one more game, and then we'll see after that. It'll be like an hour and a half stream. How many more wins do we need for Arceus, actually? I think one more win gets us into Arceus, so maybe if I'll play until we get to Arceus. Because I haven't been playing that much this latter season. So I don't know if I'll go back to playing games up to Arceus if I don't cinch it out on this stream. I prefer to just play on like simulators and stuff. So yeah, we'll just play until we get to Arceus maybe. Unless I just suddenly go on some crazy lose streak. Arceus with Dialga VSTAR. We have certainly hit some pretty niche decks today. But we're still beating them. We're beating everything. Except we lost to the Bolt. We lost to the Bolt pitch. 2-0 the Zard, which is probably going to be the most popular deck of Baltimore. Maybe Drago. It's going to be close between the two, for sure. But I think I'm kind of leaning towards maybe Zard is going to be the more popular one at this point. Zard is getting so much hype right now. I don't think it deserves to be the most popular deck. But I think it's good. I like, if I were going to play Zard, I'd always play Zard Control over it. I think it's just, like, so much better. Hey Cyrus, read your article in Giratina, loved it. I have a question. You talk about some ways you can navigate the Ancient Box matchup. My question is, can Cobalion be teched? You can certainly tech Cobalion to have a better Ancient Box matchup. I don't think you'll win it anyways. I think you'll still be unfavored. But, I mean, it definitely improves your matchup. I haven't tried the matchup that much with Cobalion, so I cannot say for sure how much of a difference it makes. Maybe I play 10 games with Tina with a Cobalion in it against Ancient, and suddenly, like, I'm winning the matchup all the time. But I can't see that being the case. I feel like if I'm still in favored, I'm not even going to tech for it. I'll just take the bad matchup and improve my matchups elsewhere. Because, like, realistically, you'll even if you hit 2 Ancient, if you win all your other games, you can still pull it out. So just focus on the matchups that you can beat. Right. We'll go Nest Ball, get the Dialga, and then attach the Dialga Iono. Now I am giving them more cards in hand with that Iono. It's a little unfortunate, but realistically that's going to be fine. Ooh, okay, so do I want to bet on them not lost impacting me? Probably not. So let's just pass. Because my option would be like Ultra Ball, these two away, get another Dialga, and then Prime Catcher like this, and then Metal Coating. And that way if they cure him, but if they can cure him, they can probably Drago, so holding the Prime Catcher definitely makes more sense. Prime Catcher is too good to be used just to use Metal Coating. Kyurem hits the discard pile. Like, I think I can still come back if they Kyurem, right? Because I just have to maybe try to dig for Iono. I can Poffin for at least one more Beldum out if I don't find Rod. And then I can Metal Coating to set up, and maybe they don't get another attack off because they use Kyurem to discard all their energy. Down one energy switch already. They just need one more to set up this Drago, though. There's always like gonna be the scary turn against Drago, right? Like they could just Kyurem board wipe me here, and then just like without even using Legacy Star, and then use Legacy Star to set up another attack on the following turn. But if I can survive here, then I think we're fine, as long as I can survive this turn, especially with how strong of a start I had. Bringing up the Drago now. This isn't looking good. They will definitely use Kyurem if they have it. But boss, Dragon Laser. Okay. I might just be able to Star Chronos this now. And then knock out both Dragos. I think let's go. Okay, Super Rod. It's pretty nice. Get me more metal in the discard pile for. We'll use that first. Okay, Ultra Ball, Research, Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I think I want the Fezandipiti here. Draw more cards. Because I don't really want to research away my Prime Catcher. Flip. Okay, Dialga and Iono. That's very nice. Dialga. Attach. Super Rod. Metal. Dialga. Iono. Hopefully we can find a couple Metangs. If I find 2 Metangs, I think I have a really good chance of hitting it here. We did find 2 Metangs. So we'll go Metang. Metang. I don't want to Ultra Ball because I don't want to discard these cards. So we'll just Metal Maker. Okay, one more. 1 energy off Metal Maker. Let's see it. Metal Maker. No! Oh, man. Okay, so close. Oh, Metal Blast for 200. That sucks. Dang. Oh, that's so rough. We just needed 1 more Metal Energy off Metal Maker. And we would have just pretty much won the game on the spot. One more energy on either Metal Maker. But, I mean, that's Dialga, right? That's the biggest problem with the deck. Sometimes you just don't hit it. We'll see. Maybe they won't have... I don't know. Maybe they won't find Drago still. But I'm not optimistic about our odds here. They still need to get Guillotine in the discard to knock us out. We can still take a 4-prize Star Chronos next turn if they don't knock us out. And there was so many energy in the deck. Yeah, there was. We had 5 up front, so there were 10. There's 10 energy still in the deck. But you can see how this matchup can be very winnable, even though, you know, Kyurem on triple Metang may sound scary. We might still win this. I mean, if this is all they got, if this is all they're doing, restart for 1, it might very well be all they're doing. Restart for 1 into the Drago. Oh, into research. They probably already had it. Oh, and the Giratina V-Star and discard pile. Yeah, that's not good. They're gonna be able to bench 1 though. Oh, they have double. Well, hopefully we can Star Chronos knock out double Drago next turn. If they go for the Lost Impact knockout here. We're still fine as long as we take a 4-prize Star Chronos next turn. But just obviously rough to be so close and then lose all 4 of our energy here. Okay, they are lost sending the energy off the Teals, which is a very bad play. They should definitely be lost sending the energy off of this because it's definitely getting knocked out, whether I Star Chronos or not. We'll go here. Attach, Ultra Ball away the rest. I'm just gonna grab Mew. We can always use Zamazenta to take our last 2 prize cards, or even the Fezandipiti to Cruel Arrow Mew EX. So, restart. I want to try to find rods before I use my Metal Makers. Flip the script. Okay, we found a boss. Very nice. Let's conceal, draw a couple more. We can find another rod. Okay, no rod, but we can go. So we're going to have 3 energy in the discard pile and 1 in play. So we'll have 11 energy in deck with a 22 card deck. I could research and try to hit another rod, but odds are I'll just draw more energy and then reduce my odds anyways. So, oh no. We really have to hit triple energy Metal Maker here. I mean, I think it's our best chance of doing it is just to do it. Unfortunate, just 2. And then we just lost impact to us again next turn. The double miss. Yeah, that's probably game. I'll just research. Because, like, yeah, this is why I didn't research first, right? Because, like, I could just draw 3 metal and a super rod, and then I even out my odds anyways. I mean, I guess the other cards, I think it was definitely better not to research, but we just did not get it. All I can do is not take a knockout. Yeah, this is pretty much game though, right? Like they're just gonna knock us out with Lost Impact again, and we're gonna have to go. Like ideally, our next turn is we get out Dialga. We Iono them to a low hand size. We hit this with not enough energy to attack, and just hope that they miss attack next turn. But they haven't even used their Legacy Star yet, so there's just really no way. I don't think. Just with Star Chronos 2 turns in a row, not a lot we can do to come back. Especially since they haven't used the Legacy Star yet, at least. If they had used it, then we'd be fine. Or at least in a relatively winnable position. But especially because they're going down to one prize here, we can't even like try to stay a one prizer active. So they just lost impact this. We can't return knockout in any way, shape, or form. And then they just Legacy Star. Thornton would be kind of cool in this deck, but you just can't find it when you need it. Reliably, at least. I'm just gonna do this to take a look at my options, see if there's really any way to come back. They still need to find, like they're not guaranteed to find what they need by any means. They're just very likely to. Well, no, they are gonna need red. These Legacy are for Fire Prime Catcher. Yeah, I don't see any way to survive my opponent's next turn because we can't knock out the Drago, and they haven't used Legacy Star. If we had Star Chronos either of the turns prior, would have been fine. But okay, so now I need to win 2 games. We can still win 2 games. If I take like a crazy lose streak with the deck, I won't grind up to Arceus, but otherwise, like, I'll just play until I make Arceus. That one was pretty unfortunate, I think. But 0 energy metal makers are always going to happen. Do you remember the canon event that brought you into Pokemon? I do, actually. So, I mean, I've been into Pokemon since I was, like, 3, just, like, generally as a franchise, because my brother was into it, and my brother's 3 years older than me, so, you know, it was just always a part of my life, because he was into it at the time. He's not it anymore. You know, I don't remember a time without Pokemon, because I was watching it before I can remember. But, as far as the card game goes, I had cards, like, a little bit. Like, I had, like, you know, just, like, the occasional gift would be Pokemon cards because I like Pokemon. But it wasn't until, I have to go for Greninja here because my hand's dead. Oh, it's an Iron Thorns. Definitely should have went for Dialga. But, yeah, I had cards here and there, but it was, actually, I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. And so I knew how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I didn't know how to play Pokemon. I never tried to learn how to play Pokemon. I don't know why, just for whatever reason. I had played it, like, my brother and I would play it with, like, our own rules. You know, we'd make something up. But we never bothered to learn the actual rules. But then I learned how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Easier to learn just because, you know, I watched the show too, which obviously they do cheat. But in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. But it's still I had a better starting point. And then my dad took me to my local card store, and they were like, no. I thought I was probably like 8, and they were like, no, they can't play. We actually, the youngest person that we let play here is 12, so they're just too young. We can't let them play. And so I decided, well, I mean, I'm not too young to play Pokemon. I guess I will just learn how to play the Pokemon card game, and I'll play that instead. So there's an alternate universe where I'm a professional Yu-Gi-Oh player instead. From a former Yu-Gi-Oh player, don't play Yu-Gi-Oh. I agree. I mean, I've played the only 2 competitive games I played of Yu-Gi-Oh were when Mystic Mine was seeing play, and it was against my friend who plays all the time, because I was working at a card shop at the time, so I had lots of friends that played Yu-Gi-Oh. And he was like, okay, I'll teach her to play. They had 2 decks, and game 1, my opponent, he went first. And turn 1, he discarded. He played a bunch of cards that discarded cards from my hands. I had no counterplay, and he just got rid of every good card in my hand, and wiped me on turn 1. Basically, they were like, yeah, you should probably just scoop. There's no point in playing. So I lost on turn 1, and then game 2, I went first, and turn 1 I had a Mystic Mine in my hand, so I played Mystic Mine, and then he scooped. So. Yeah, those are my 2 competitive games of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm at 50-50, 1-1. I played 1 card in both games, went 1-1, and that was my Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't touch Yu-Gi-Oh! Anytime soon. Maybe old formats, because I've heard that's much better, and I do like old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Edison's chill, it's a lot like Pokemon, very back and forth. Yeah, I like, not to sound like every person who used to like Yu-Gi-Oh! And doesn't anymore, because I know this is not going to be a hot take or something that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players don't hear all the time, but I like the old school Yu-Gi-Oh! I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Just like the way it was originally designed. It is too much for me. I'm just not interested in all of the turn 1 shenanigans and stuff. I like simple. I think that the counterplay during opponent's turn. I think the trap cards are cool. I think that fusions are even pretty cool. Anything beyond that, I think they lost me. I mean, I can say the same about Pokemon. I like simple Pokemon much better too. Old formats in Pokemon are better as well. So if I was a Yu-Gi-Oh player who came from Pokemon, I'm sure I would be saying the same thing about Pokemon. Now, we don't often lose to Iron Thorns, but we're not in a great spot right now. I don't think we're going to lose, but we could. Dialga V and Dialga V in the lost zone. We'll just go Ultra Ball, get rid of Beldum and Zamazenta, get him a Tang. Go Metal. I'm gonna Super Rod and then Metal Maker before the Iono, because I don't want to draw into more Metal Energy when I play the Iono. I just want to hit 1 metal off of Metal Maker, putting Boss Iono Metang to the bottom. Okay. Attach Iono, and then I want to hit Dialga and Volt Cyclone onto it. Okay, hit the Dialga, Nest Ball, get the Dialga, and let's Ultra Ball away, Metal and Research for another Metang, start getting more energy on that Dialga so I can one-shot these other 2 Iron Thorns. Ideally. Beautiful. I think we should be in a very winning position now. Just genome hacking, Volt Cyclone, boom, 4 energy on my Dialga. Do you play any other TCGs in the meantime? So during like when COVID regulations started to ease up, but we still weren't allowed to play like majors. You know, my local card shop, like once they started hosting events again, I was working there at the time, and I got really into Vanguard because they rebooted the game around the same time, and I love Vanguard. I think that Vanguard is like maybe my favorite card game mechanically, or at least it was at the time. But I know that they tend to devolve into like pretty degenerate formats pretty often. I've never had to play in any of those formats, but I got really into Vanguard. I played around the same time, a little bit after Modern, like Magic, and I like that a lot too. But honestly, it's like I have fun playing other card games, but just like financially and like how much free time I have, I feel that I always have to be playing Pokemon because it's, you know, what I do full time, and I make my career out of it. It's like if I'm gonna play card games, I should probably just be playing more Pokemon to be better at Pokemon. I don't, you know, like that's just my mindset. I probably shouldn't have that mindset, but like I feel guilty if I'm like, you know, not spending more time practicing at times. I can be a little bit harsh on myself about productivity. So if I have free time to play a game, usually I just play more Pokemon. What I love about Pokemon is playing lots of games actually equates to getting better, unlike some other card games. Yeah, I can't speak to every other card game, but Pokemon definitely, I mean, just the more Pokemon you play, the better you'll be at Pokemon, even if you don't play like the current standard format. So 7 energy and discard, 5 in public zones hand board. So that means I have 3 left in deck. So I think it is better for me to just research here and try to hit a rod. How many rod do I have left? I have 2, right? Oh, 3. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna research before I use my metal makers. Double rod, beautiful. And the Dialga VSTAR. Let's just go Dialga. Right now we're doing 200, so we just need to hit 1 metal. We'll shuffle all 6 back in though. I think I'll Buddy-Buddy Poffin just to fail it, so I draw better off judges and stuff. We'll put all 6 energy back in here. I don't need another Beldum. And we'll just Metal Maker. I'm just going to do as many as I need, which is just 1. Because I want to make sure that I can retreat if I get gusted. So I will just... Actually, maybe I'll do 1 more. No, I have 1. I'm never going to miss all of my Metal Makers next turn. I can see my holdout with Metal Makers. So we'll just Metal Blast for a knockout. And I think we are guaranteed to win next turn. I don't think there's any possible thing my opponent could do to stop that. I guess, like, how many hammers do they have left? A lot of Crushing Hammers. Even then, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to see my entire deck with Metal Makers. So I really don't think there's any chance of me losing next turn. Yeah, and they're down 3 hammers already, too. I'm curious. I'm listening to music right now, right? While I stream. But I don't think you guys can hear it. So, do you guys listen to music while you watch like a stream? Like I can't just like listen just to someone talk with no audio, with no music. So like if you watch a stream and there's no like background music, do you listen to music as well while you're watching the stream? Or do you just like go in raw, just listen to someone talk, no audio? I usually play games with stream in background, kind of the same. Yeah, that's fair. This is peak for me. I turn all music off, PCL video game music off, etc. All goes off. Just lock in. See, I can't. Maybe it's the ADHD. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I cannot focus without. I mean, obviously I have to do it in tournament, but if I could. Honestly, I'd probably be a 10 times better player if I could listen to music during tournament. I feel like it's way easier for me to lock in, personally. I can listen to some talk while I'm building a deck or sorting out a mess of cards. Yeah, you know what? Actually, in hindsight, now that you say that, I guess I like, will like listen to a podcast, and that doesn't have music in the background while I do other things. So, I guess I feel like, if I like, don't have anything to say for a minute and there's a lull, that could get kind of boring, And I guess I'm not listening to anyone talk, so it makes more sense for me to need music while I stream to have some stimuli. But I guess, yeah, if someone's just like constantly talking in your ear, you probably don't necessarily need music in the back. People are afraid of being on stream, but the white noise would be such a buff for me. It is. I'm actually undefeated on the official stream, and maybe that's why the white noise buff. I think I want to say I'm 601, 602, something like that. Yeah, if they put me on stream, it's just I'm no way I'm losing. I love it when I go on stream. Concealed. Yeah, you need to keep the games interesting. I try to keep the games interesting. I'm glad it is effective. Maybe it's just me being self-conscious about how entertaining I am just talking. That I'm like, you guys must need to have some other stimuli while you're watching this. Rotom start, so just another rare candy Pidge deck most likely. Probably our third Zard. Maybe we can go 3-0 against the Zards, although this hand is definitely lacking. I'd love to find a Dialga. We have concealed cards. It's not going anywhere if we're playing against the Pidgeot deck. So we get to our draw for turn, plus 2 more off concealed. Can definitely find something. Pulled Xatu. Also, I think a pretty good matchup here, but I'd actually rather than playing Pulled Pidge, because I can get like an easy prize card, knock it on the Pidgeot. But this is still fine. Still a favorable matchup, certainly. Okay, instant. Concealed. Okay, I mean, I might be able to get a knockout with the Zam here. Let's go Metang, and then like if they take a return knockout, I can draw cards with Fez. So I mean, maybe that's decent. I think I'm gonna retreat and super odd all 3 energy back in first and just go for it. Go for the retaliate KO. Metal Makers. Now the question then is, do I bench the Fezandipiti in case they unfair stamp, or is it not worth it because of how tight my bench is? Because I obviously wouldn't have room for Dialga then. And I think the answer for me is to just retaliate and not bench the Fezandipiti. Because if they unfair stamp, that would obviously be like a little annoying. Like our hand, we have the Fez, we'd rather keep that. Now we have the Tang, we'd rather keep that. But ultimately, like, if they just Iono, then that's, just because it was a better hand size anyway, so we probably don't need the Fez. And the odds of getting attacked this turn are pretty low, so you might be able to just, like, retaliate for another prize next turn anyways and not need to do a whole lot. Plus, if they stamp us, we could always just find another out anyways. Like a research on Iono. Another instant charge. Okay, so now I just need to find a retreat off of Metal Maker. I think I'll use the Metal Makers first, and that way if I whiff energy, then I can attach the retreat. But if I don't miss energy, then I can concealed, and I didn't. So we will do that, and then I'll concealed, maybe draw Dialga. Boom. Okay, an Iono, that's good too. Don't want to attach that. I want to hold out to see if I can draw Dialga attach. Don't want to boss anything. Looks like Iono. You know, obviously they had a bad hand last turn, but they drew 3 cards off instant charge anyway, so. Okay, it's pretty good. We can go Ultra Ball, Beldum, Metal, get the Dialga, use another Metal Maker. We do have a lot of energy down already, so I'm not confident in hitting this, but we have an attachment for turn as well. Okay, we hit 1, putting a Super Rod, Nest Ball, and Fezandipiti to the bottom. Attach again, treat, bring up this, and just retaliate. And now Star Chronos on Rotom into Dragon Bolt is game, so maybe that's an option. Next turn. If they get completely set up here, I have to hit my Prime Catcher though. But either way, we're looking like we're in a good spot. We'll have to find some more rods too, because like I said, we're bleeding energy right now. 4 in discard, 3 in play, 2 on the Dialga. So that's 9, which means we have 6 left. We have only used 1 rod, but I mean, that's still 1 rod used with 9 energy already in play. We only need to find 3 more for the Dialga though, so this deck seems good still. Yeah, I think it's like way better than people are giving it credit for. Obviously, we've had some, you know, some matchups that aren't as competitive, but overall, you know, been going great. Easy win against Thorns. Pretty good Ancient Boss matchup. Pretty good Miraidon and Roaring Moon matchups because of the 4-price turn and the Zamazenta. And then like decent into Charizard and Dragapult. And can still beat Drago. I think that's like, I definitely think on Drago, like Regidrago's unfavored, but it's not like that bad. Pretty winnable, especially if you can get like a really good start against Drago, then you can be fine. Like the one game that we lost to Drago, it was only because we whisked Star Chronos two turns in a row. And one of the first miss, I think the second miss was definitely more likely to miss, but the first miss we definitely should have hit. Like we should have hit 1 more energy off those Metal Makers, statistically speaking. But the odds, it wasn't. We had 10 more energy. We had 10 more energy in deck when we missed that Metal Maker. Okay, we even just Star Chronos, Rotom, Fez at this point, so even if they don't attack this turn, we still have a line to win next turn, which just in general is going to be good for us in the long run. They're still at 6 prize cards. They haven't attacked yet. We already have a 2-prize lead. No matter what happens this turn and next turn, we should be in a good spot. A Tang, that's fine. We want to hit Prime Catcher this turn anyways. And what are they going to retreat into? Dracloak, maybe Evo into Dusclops, and nope. Well, I would have just sacrificed the Duskull if they were doing that, but we'll just research. Let's thin with the Ultra Ball. And then I'll Concealed before I use Super Rod Metal Makers. Okay. Super Rod. 1, 2, 3. Dialga. Metal Maker. I think I'm going to set up the Dialga first. I think unless I'm going to Star Chronos here, I don't want to retreat. So we'll make sure that we hit the Star Chronos first, which we did. Because then I can take us down to, essentially take us down to 1 prize. So I'm going to carry again. Okay. Attach. Treat. We still have another Super Rod left, right? 2? Yeah, 2 more rods. Star Chronos. And I could even just kill this if I can find a boss. How many bosses am I down? 1 boss down. Still have Prime Catcher left. Research, so a pretty good chance of finding that Prime Catcher. In which case, I could even just, yeah, Prime Catcher, knock that out. Let's just research. There it is. Prime Catcher. This. Bring up this. Thin with Ultra Ball. one metal, which I will save for Metang Retreat. And then save the other energy in hand for the same reason, except this is doing, 5, 6, 240 right now. We'll attach just to get it one attachment away from 320. Retaliate, take one prize, go down to 2. There's realistically just no way for us losing this game, which means we should have jumped all the way from Shaman to, I mean, not a huge jump, but Shaman to Arc tier with Dialga VSTAR. Not bad. The deck's pretty good. The deck's pretty good. It's underrated for sure. It has its problems, but every deck does. I think it's like, I think its matchup spread is like really, really good, and then just like sometimes it just misses is the biggest problem. But in best of 3, especially, like, okay, Radzard. So they're gonna force us to have boss. We do have boss currently. We're down our Prime Catcher. We're down one boss. I like the threat that Zamazenta provides. Yeah, it's very nice, especially, I mean, and against Ancient Box, if you can just keep using Zamazenta, then you keep, you know, if you get the first prize, and then Starkron is always going to be able to take a 2-prize turn against Ancient Box, right? So, Zamazenta is, like, very key in the Ancient Box matchup, and then, of course, against all the big 2-prize decks, just having a 1-prize attacker that can take 2 prize cards relatively easily is so, so good. That's all the way the Zatu. And it can come down in one turn on like a Dialga VSTAR knockout, right? Dialga VSTAR. If I don't have any Dialga Vs in play, I can't just go ahead and do 220 with it. So if my opponent knocks out both my Dialgas, maybe with like a Phantom Dive or something as Drago, or just I only had bench space for one, or just, you know, however the game plays out, Zamazenta can be that way to take my last 2 prize cards nice and easy. No hand disrupt, so we do just have boss for game. Bring this up, boss up the Rotom, or the Fez, but we're going to do the Rotom because that has less HP. Metal Blast, pulled Xatu for the knockout, Dialga VSTAR. Maybe it should be called the Dialga VSTAR tier instead of the Arceus tier now. Boom. Alright. Assuming that gets us up to Arceus tier, I think that is going to be my last game for today. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Dialga gameplay. Like I said, the list should be in the description. There we go. Welcome to Arceus League, Dialga VSTAR. Anyone has any other questions about the deck? Cyrus TCG on all platforms. Cyrus TCG on Metafy for coaching. Make sure to check out my articles as well if you'd like, and I'll be back again next Friday to stream right before Baltimore. Have a good weekend, everyone.